Welcome to today's deep dive. You know how when you try to cook a new recipe but you just sort of eyeball the ingredients instead of using measuring cups?
Oh, yeah. It might taste okay, but usually end up with a totally messy kitchen and a whole lot of wasted food.
Exactly. And if you're just cooking for yourself, well, you can live with that. But try running a commercial kitchen that way and you'll go bankrupt.
Right, which actually brings us directly to our mission for today's deep dive.
Yeah, we've got a stack of sources looking at exactly how automating furniture production generates these massive, very specific cost savings over time.
And we're going to explore how local automated speed can actually outperform traditional manual overseas volume.
To really ground this, we're looking specifically at the technology built by a company called Velocity Plotters.
So to really understand the economic impact here, you have to picture the massive bottleneck in a typical manual furniture shop. Before a single stitch is even sewn.
Right, just the prep work.
Exactly. Imagine walking onto a factory floor and seeing 17 people tied up just in preparation.
17! Wow. So you've got like 10 people cutting fabric by hand, 5 spreading it out on long tables, and 2 physically drawing the cardboard patterns.
Doing it all by eye, yeah.
Yeah.
Just like that chaotic kitchen analogy you use.
Man. And your instinct might be to assume the biggest expense there is the payroll for those 17 employees.
You'd think so. But the real margin killers are actually the hidden costs. It's the wasted fabric from inconsistent cuts, plus the constant rework and severe production delays.
So getting rid of that waste isn't just about, I don't know, buying better scissors, right?
No, definitely not. It requires a complete digital ecosystem, which is where Velocity Plotters comes in.
Okay, so how does that actually work?
Well, instead of 2 designers tracing and storing these deteriorating cardboard templates, they use something called a V-Shoot camera system.
A camera system? Wait, really?
Yeah, instantly pulls those physical shapes into a digital CAD file. And once those patterns are digitized, those manual designers effectively become like digital production engineers.
Oh, that makes sense, because then the software takes over what's called marker optimization,
Exactly.
which essentially means it acts like an AI playing a perfect game of Tetris with the fabric shapes.
I love that. That Tetris analogy is perfect because that's exactly how the mechanism works. It rotates and nests the digital pattern pieces so incredibly close together that there is almost zero scrap left over.
And the financial impact for a factory there is huge, right?
Substantial, yeah. If a facility spends, say, $40,000 a month on fabric, and this digital nesting saves just 7% of that material.
Wait, 7% of 40,000? That's over $33,600 saved every single year.
Yep, just from laying out the shapes more efficiently.
Yeah.
And that's without even factoring in the reduced rework and faster production times.
So when you add all that up, overall costs can drop by up to 30%. That's wild.
It really is. It's a very realistic, sustainable way for these businesses to protect their profit margins.
But hold on a second. If a machine is suddenly doing the work of those 17 people in the cutting room, doesn't this just, well, gut the local workforce?
Yeah, it sounds like a fast track to unemployment, right?
Exactly. If I'm a factory worker listening to this, I'm probably pretty worried.
It's a fair concern, but the reality on the ground is completely different. Right now, there is actually a severe shortage of skilled manual cutters in the U.S.
Oh, so they can't even find the people to do the work in the first place.
Literally cannot find them. So instead of layoffs, this automation solves a crippling labor bottleneck. Companies redeploy those exact same workers to scale their output.
Got it. So they can actually accept more business. Instead of one person cutting slowly with hand tools, they're managing a machine that cuts perfectly.
And exponentially faster. And that shift is exactly how U.S. manufacturing can compete globally.
Because overseas factories traditionally win by relying on cheap labor to churn out massive high-volume production.
Right, the old strategy of building giant warehouses full of identical couches, local factories just can't win that race.
Yeah, they definitely can't.
But by using automated tools like the Velocity ProCut X, they win a completely different game.
Wait, the ProCut X, that's the one that increases productivity by up to 40%, right? And reduces imperfections by 70%.
Got it. With those kinds of numbers, they win through rapid turnaround, agile workflows, and made-to-order customization.
So they aren't trying to out-cheap the overseas factories, they're out-speeding them.
Exactly. They can offer you a custom couch in 2 weeks instead of shipping a generic one across the ocean in 2 months.
That is such a fascinating shift. So the core takeaway for you listening today is that in U.S. manufacturing, the future isn't about hoarding inventory in giant warehouses.
No, and it's not about chasing the cheapest labor either. It's about using smarter technology to enhance craftsmanship rather than replace it.
We're basically moving from like eyeballing the ingredients to running a Michelin-star digital kitchen.
Precisely. It's
Yeah.
a totally different level of operation.
It leaves you wondering, though, if digital agility and cutting speed can defeat cheap overseas labor in the furniture market, what other heavily manual traditional industries are sitting on a digital gold mine just waiting to be automated?